You know what? I almost took the sweatshirt off because I was thinking to myself, I'm always on this podcast wearing my shirt, my company shirt.
But I feel like it's been cold, but like it's not that cold today. So I'm surprised.
Yeah, but I feel like I've lost a couple pounds and I'm getting colder. And I'm like, this is what skinny people must feel like. Just cold. Are you laughing because I'm not skinny?
No, you look great. But like, I mean, to think that you've lost weight to the point where you'd be cold is...
I feel that way. You think it's that funny, huh?
I feel like maybe that's why I'm hot. I'm like gaining weight. Oh. Holiday weight.
Look, you cannot take my comment and then infer to your thing to make me feel like my comment was a bad version of your comment or a leading up to.
What?
I don't know.
What in the world?
There's like an association to your comment. It's like, well, if you're getting cold because you're skinny and I'm hot, then that means that you must think that I'm getting bigger.
I didn't say you must think.
It was an inferred. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole
I don't
point.
think it was, actually. Maria's shaking her head. No. Now, do you know why he's saying that, Maria? Because recently he has commented.
What did I comment?
We've just eaten a lot over the holidays.
That's not fair. First of all, you just made it sound like I've made a comment. I have never made a comment.
No. We're all
and
good.
you're talking about something totally different.
I know.
And you put me in a situation where I can't even say anything. So
Okay. So it was just the holidays.
It was just the holidays.
And I really and truly, first of all, I do try to stay active. I've taken all of my walks every single day. And it's been a few weeks since I've been in Pilates just because we had company in town and whatever else. But I mean, I wouldn't say we're the type of people that like have a million loaves of fresh baked sourdough and 14 batches of cookies at home. Like, I'm not a baker. I'm not over here. We're not like indulging in
bake
Christmas.
Like 3 or 4 cookies like every once a week.
You got a cookie issue.
He
buys pre-made dough, and like they were like,
it's not pre-made dough. They're cookies. They're cookies in a.
They were like, sir, you could work
throw them on a sheet pan. You throw them in there, and they make cookies.
They were like, sir, you could work on your blood sugar, and you were like, in that case, I'm going to start.
The Pillsbury's are 2 for $1.
Buying cookies. You never bought cookies before.
Okay, first of all, my blood sugar's amazing right now.
It is. It is. You're working on it. It's amazing.
I am.
Yes. But it's one of those things where if someone tells you can't have something, you want it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's happened.
By the way, did you tell your mom to close the door to the...
Earlier today, I did.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Anyway, so, okay, back to the holidays because we have a lot to cover. There was a lot going on since
There's a lot going on.
Been gone.
Here overall together. Thank you so much. You know what? We just got off of a 2-week. We're probably a little bit rusty. I mean, we haven't been in front of the mics.
I'm not
Happy
rusty.
New Year, everyone.
You seem to be struggling.
2026, and we are back, baby. And we took 2 full weeks off for the company. I think we've talked about this over the last couple of years, which is like one of our main goals. And we probably talked about it leading up to it, which was like, hey, we want everyone to have the 2 weeks off, like, and just kind of reset, get back in the, mental gain to get back and just kick ass in the next year.
Yeah. And I think that over the last couple of years while we've done this, both times we've been able to do it, there has been discussion, about it. And like, does it make sense for the business? Is it going to be possible? Is it the best thing for us individually? I mean, I will tell you, you're the owner of a company. You're an entrepreneur at heart. You are your hobby.
It's unhealthy for me to be gone for 2 weeks.
It is so unhealthy for him and everyone else around him for him to not be at work for 2 weeks.
It's just like if you had a favorite hobby, like let's say you said baking, you're like, I bake every day, right? And then all of a sudden you're going to go 2 weeks without baking.
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, this sucks.
Or anything. Runners.
Or
like
anything.
runners
like,
train
okay,
for a marathon.
You said
and
Pilates.
Then,
it's like,
yeah.
hey, you can't go to Pilates for all this time.
Right.
Like,
and I am going
really
nuts
need
to get back just because it's like been a long time with company in town and stuff. But it's like runners train for marathons and they might pull a muscle and then it's like they can't run. And all of a sudden you just feel like you're missing this aspect of your life. And that is
totally
literally how you are. And you woke up Monday morning. It was going to be the first day back and you were in the best mood. And I was like, you seem happy today to be
I'm like,
going back to work.
going back to work today.
It was like a Smurf song.
And everyone
around the
else
house.
is coming too.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've
I'm
been
going
in
to
the
go
office.
play with friends.
You've been in the office a couple of times, but the employees haven't been there with you. But well, one
exactly.
day people did come in to help prepare for production over at the t-shirt company, so that was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
But-
We had to get everything ready. And
But it
kinda
is.
showed up.
It's a big change. I think, and we have talked about it in the past. It's like multifaceted, right? Because one, it's the preparation to leave. So like in order for it to actually be a break, you need to be able to prepare not only your own business, but your clients, that you got to
Right, you're
manage
throttling
clients and
things back,
expectations.
clients, deliverables, internal projects. There's a lot of prep work that kind of goes into it, and then this idea that you're going to just cut, cold turkey, and just walk away is phenomenal. And actually, in all fairness, the first couple of days of the break, I was pretty good. Like I was like, this is great. Like it's the beginning of the thing. My birthday, we kind of hung out.
It was your birthday.
We were going out to eat. We were
Speaking
going on
of which,
walks.
So Chris, unfortunately,
I got sick.
but this flu is insane.
I'm surprised that we don't have more people that have been sick out of the
Well,
out of
and
the
I
office.
wonder if anybody
I think
in the
everyone's
office
just coming
got
to work
sick over the break, because a couple people were sick before the break even happened. Like Heidi wasn't feeling good, and not that I'm supposed to be naming names. That's like it's got to be some sort of violation that I just did there. She had a cold.
No, it's common. It's like everyone's sick.
No, but literally. So we went to Disney, and I don't even know if we had a podcast talking about Disney, but we brought our almost 1-year-old to Disney right before the actual Christmas break. It was just over the weekend, and we were with a bunch of friends, and literally it was 3 couples in our group. We met up with 2 other couples, and pretty sure every single parent and kid from that entire
There's like
group,
20 of us.
Total, all got sick. Like everyone
ended up getting
and it
sick.
was
and I think it was one little culprit in that group that just brought it. It was like a little gremlin that just brought
It's
this.
not
like,
a gremlin. I don't even know who you're talking
gremlin.
about.
I don't know who it was. I'm just saying there's one little gremlin in that group.
Well,
that
no,
just
one of
brought,
our
like, they're just
friends-
like oozing and like.
But all that truth comes. I don't know why you're. I don't know why you're saying that.
Okay, it could have been any gremlin from anywhere.
Well, it could have, because we were in Disney with a million gremlins.
That's what I'm
everywhere.
saying.
But one of the couples in our group was like, second night, they were like, "Oh, one of the kids has a fever," and then the next day it was like, "Hey, this kid has a fever. If you don't want to be around it," but then come to find, because a couple of the girls in my book club, it was like, "Hey, did you guys get sick?" The other girl that was there, did you guys get sick after Disney? And they were like, "Oh, our one kid got sick before Disney, and we've all been sick ever since." And it was like, "Oh, so you gave it to everyone?"
That's what I'm talking about. There was a gremlin.
Yeah, it was like, "Oh, wait a second." And so, but it's been going around. Like we've got our little lake condo. We went up there for New Year's Eve, and I feel like everyone, like we got over it pretty quickly. You got.
I don't know. I was sick for probably. It's interesting because I was fine. I was like the survivor from
Yeah,
in
so
our house.
I got sick and so did Abigail.
It was like almost a full week, and then all of a sudden, right before my birthday, I was like, and it just like hit me.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't feeling the best for my birthday the day after, and then so yeah. By
Well,
day
you rallied
3,
for your birthday. Normally he gets the man flu, which everybody knows.
Yeah, I
what the
curl
man
up
flu
in
is.
bed. Like if I'm sick, I'm like, leave me alone. Put a show on. I'm curled up on the couch or in my bed, and just don't talk to me. Leave me alone. Like I'm like, I bite.
I saw this video the other day, and it's like a woman talking to her husband, and it's a complete lie. She's just like waiting to see what her husband thinks, and she's like, "I think I have strep," and he's like, "Really? Oh my god! Like when? How do you feel?" And she's totally kidding. And then there's this video of him like 5 seconds later, he's like taking his temperature and like got the light in the back of his throat, and he's like, "I'm unwell. I am unwell. I need to lay down." Like he feels like all of a sudden he's plagued, and I'm like, and there it is, the man flu.
Well, first of all, I'm truly really sick when I'm sick.
Every man. But so it's so funny because there's nothing worse than a mother/wife, in the house preparing for Christmas than preparing for Christmas with a man on your couch with the man flu.
I wasn't on the couch with the man flu.
I'm not saying you were. There was just other people that I know that had man flu in their home as well, and it was hilarious.
Oh,
but
I know who we're talking about.
But it's so funny because there's all these memes and stuff of the mom who like wraps all these presents and puts everything under the tree, cooks all the food, like buys all the stuff. And then it's like Christmas morning comes and, you know, the wife looks over at the dad, like, get ready for the show. Like you're about to find out what you
Everything
got.
that we bought.
And it's so true. Like my sister was in town with her husband and my niece. And my niece was playing with something, and my brother-in-law literally walked up to her and was like, "Oh my God, you got the whatever doll. How cool. Who got you that?" And she looked right up at him and was like, "You did, Daddy." It's just like,
that's hilarious.
it's, you know, the holidays are a wonderful time. They can be a stressful time. And it's interesting because, and I know I'm blabbing, I'm going to let you talk for a second because I'm going to bring up budgets. It's like a lot of people spend a lot of money surrounding the holidays.
Yeah.
And so, you know, one, it's like, how do you spend and ensure that it's worth it, you know, while still making it magical and thoughtful with family? And then how do you plan and kind of level set afterwards?
You know, it's interesting that you brought that up because I was thinking about this concept where we started budget banking like 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, it's been years now. Mm-hmm. And our entire personal life is on autopilot. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, except for like looking at the kid account and our food account, like everything's on autopilot. We don't really, and we literally revisit it once a year. And we're like, okay, what's changed in this year? And then, but our personal accounts is like a free for all. Like, it's like we came out of pocket. We're like buying meat. We're buying food. We're buying presents.
Well, he's saying buying meat. I did do a standing rib roast on Christmas Day and it was pretty phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. It was amazing. But there's a lot that goes.
It was a couple $100 though.
We almost paid twice as much for it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna sorry.
You know, I love supporting local people, but
yes, pause for the rib roast conversation. So there was a butcher in town who was selling a standing rib roast for
$400.
$40 a pound.
$40 a pound.
Okay. So I'm going through, and we had it on order.
And we didn't know, so we just put it on order.
By the way, these things are, I mean, we were feeding 10 people, so ours was going to be
10 pounds.
10 to 14
like
pounds.
$400 for a piece of meat.
So then, which is insane, then we ended up, I'm walking around Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Great place. And it had this sign that was like on sale, standing rib roast for like $19.99 or $19.95 or something.
Pound.
And
so
I was like,
sold.
That's half. But I was so freaked out that we couldn't cancel our, so I canceled our order and I got it from Whole Foods, which was amazing. Then we were talking to our friends who said they were doing ribeyes for Christmas and they're like, we got it at Publix or Detweiler's. I can't remember which one.
It was Detweiler's.
For $10 a pound. And I was like,
what?
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if it's true, but also I don't know what the quality of the. I mean, Detweiler's is great.
Detweiler's great quality.
I'm not gonna.
I mean, here's the thing.
I used to live a lot closer to a Detweiler's. It's a small little Amish market locally in town here, and I say local. They've expanded to multiple cities in Florida, but
there's a Detweiler around the corner from the office here.
Oh. The Lockwood Ridge one?
Yeah, like the Lockwood Ridge.
I wouldn't call it around the corner, but okay.
But it's on the way home, kind of.
Kind of.
We could stop and visit our friends.
Absolutely not on the way home. Our friends. That's the funniest thing you've said all podcast.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, I did. So anyway, we did. We were buying things. We like to decorate. We hosted Christmas Day. And so you're spending money to like, again, make things magical. But the people who were there were like my sister. I mean, they spent money to travel and to be here and to stay in a home and to, do all these things. So it's like we are now revisiting budgets to plan for the new year. And one of the things that we budget for is like vacations. And, we haven't had a pay raise in, 4 years. And we're sitting here and what we've done is that we've incurred more expenses because of children, but we've just taken away from our vacation fund. And so now we're looking at vacation and like, oh, we're going to go out west. And it's like, oh, we got a couple flights we're going to take. And it's like, oh, we're going to have to increase this budget. Like we're not going to be able to hit the goals by the end of the year by, saving throughout the year for it. So that was kind of like a little eye opener. The cost of our cleaning service went up. Well, and I think
which
that's it too, is the cost of everything has gone up, which we've talked about year over year. But
Yeah.
even medical insurance, I mean, through the company, most medical insurance in
that's going
general,
up.
well, it has gone up. It
Yeah.
did go up. I mean, it didn't matter what carrier you were looking at, like rates across the board were anywhere from 15 to 20% higher
And
than
by
they
the
were
way,
last year.
in terms of budget banking and doing that, one of the things we actually had two separate plans because when the company was smaller, we needed multiple people. And now that the company's bigger,
You're talking
you
about
and I are on
you're
a
talking about medical insurance.
yes,
Yes.
you and I are now on the same plan. But it's
Okay,
going
but
to
I
come
want
out
to
of,
explain that. So we were a smaller company. In order to get insurance options through a carrier, you have to have a minimum number of employees that
Right.
sign up. So even though Chris and I were married and could have been like, okay, one person's getting this and this person's the dependent, we both separately got a plan. And this year we did a bunch of calculations to say, okay, it makes sense for us to be dependents underneath, which
right.
at the end of the day, I mean,
It went underneath mine. But one of the things that you said to me is like, oh, we have to put that in the budget and figure that out. But the reality is that the way budget banking works is that it has nothing to do with how much you make. It's how much you actually get into your paycheck. So the insurance is basically taking out of my paycheck, and my amount that goes into our budget will actually be smaller. It'll be lower. So it's really not necessarily anything that we're like comparing or having to accomplish or work through tricky math or anything like that. It's actually a very quick change. The question is I don't know what that reduction of my pay is going to be with extra insurance on it.
right. Well, we can find out. The system
Yeah.
will tell us. And
The system
prepare
will tell
us.
us
I
and
know.
prepare us. And for us, the company either pays 50% of our personal, but because we are together and we own the company, the math doesn't really doesn't really matter for us because it's going to come from us no matter what.
Correct. So again, some context. I feel like you're doing okay trying to explain this. No. So
I'm not in charge of health care in our family.
No,
So-
you're not. You just signed up for the plan that I told you to. No, as a company, I mean, obviously our personal money versus company money is two different things. However, because we own the company pays. So like at a typical company, if you were an employee, you'd be like, how much of my insurance is the company willing to cover? The company might say we pay 50%, we pay 40%. Now, typically they're covering a portion. They might pay 100% for the employee.
Right.
But most of the time in companies, especially as prices have begun to rise, unless you work for an amazing company that's doing very well and chooses to, afford a lot in benefits like a Microsoft or a Google or a Facebook, then really it's like, we'll pay for you as an employee and you can have your spouse under your plan, but they might be covering, 10%, 0% of the dependent. It's just that because the company is able to get better plans through the carrier because they're trying to find medical insurance for a large group of people versus like going through the government or finding an individual plan or something like that. If you're in a bigger company, chances are you can find a better plan for a spouse, even if the company is covering 0% of that dependent. Chances are that it's going to be either equivalent or maybe a little bit better than that spouse finding a plan on their own if they don't get coverage through their own company. And
Right.
so that was kind of the point that we were making. Our company does very similar where it's not covering a lot of those dependents. It's covering for the employees themselves. We're still a small startup. We hope to offer better benefits every single year. But as prices raise, even if we're offering the same dollar amount or even an increased dollar amount, if insurance continues to go up, it's
Right.
like same percentage, but we are offering you more versus just a decrease in the percentage that you're able to cover. So these are hard things as an employer, both the benefits, medical, vision, dental, whatever it may be, and then PTO as well. Like that's paid time off that you need to budget for individuals. And I was actually saying to you the other day, I came from one of my first corporate companies that I worked in. They were very successful, still are. And they've had their challenges. They went through some hard times, but right now they're doing great. And there was a lot of competitions throughout the years and incentives and programs and things that you could do and participate in. And I felt like oftentimes one of the biggest things people wanted or could win was an extra vacation day. It was always like, we're going to do this, and the top prize is an extra vacation day. Or your employee of the month, and it comes with this.
Yeah.
And it was always like, oh my God, that's amazing. I mean, I loved it. Then
You get two things for the price of one, because you get paid and you get the time, and time is valuable.
is so valuable.
You know?
And so then we went to our next company, and our CEO at that company really wanted to be like the best of the best when it came to benefits. And they stood up the infamous unlimited PTO policy, which is the best and the worst thing that has ever existed in the history of business.
Of companies.
I literally do believe
And it
that.
comes from some of these other tech companies and other companies that exist
But
out
I think
there.
it existed for I think it was a thing for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Because one, I haven't heard of that necessarily being what's offered. And two, there were a couple of local companies that did it, all of which I think have reverted back to a more traditional style. And one of the reasons is because they actually found, and I think people were taking advantage of this, that when you didn't give clear guardrails and there was no consistency across the board with employees or longevity of how long they had been there or work that they put in or position that they were in, that the employees either didn't give a shit and took full advantage and were just gone, and managers were just approving it because they had no guardrails to say, no, you can't. Or the more likely, they never took the time off. Because there was nothing to say I had so many days. So if someone took a 2-week long vacation and didn't save up all their days from the year to say, I'm going to do this once, they felt like they would be looked at as taking advantage.
Of
or
it.
they would, whereas you could sit there and say, well, if I work for a company for 5 years and I want to take a 2-week vacation one time, then I want to be able to plan to do that.
Right.
And so anyway, but I remember saying, okay, at this other company, if we just give PTO, as for the employee of the month or whatever it may be. And our CFO, the chief financial officer, was always like, no, we can't do that. We can't just give away days. It's so expensive. And I was thinking, expensive?
It's free.
What are you talking about? I was like, it's a PTO day,
We're paying them anyway.
Right, exactly. And I don't think when you own your own business, it is this, I feel like we're in Stranger Things, since it's trending right now, like in I'm going to say it wrong, the upside down.
We're in the upside down.
Where no matter what, until you're in that position, you just cannot see things from the other perspective until you're in it, which is time is money, time is value, and having people to do the work to produce the revenue is so important. So when you give 2 weeks off, it's like, holy shit, we just spent the same amount of overhead and got nothing done towards the bottom line of the business. And nothing is a generalized statement, because that's not true.
Not only for that, and I'll throw this out there, in order to compensate for that, it's not about just earning that much money. You actually, because you have to earn that much money in profit from future revenue subtracting wages. So let's just say, for example, that your payroll was 50 grand, and you paid that out. It's not like, oh, just get 50 grand more in. It's like, no, because that 50 grand more that you brought in has a amount tied to it to produce that $50,000 of revenue. So let's say your profit's, $10,000 on 50,000. That means that we have to actually generate $250,000 of revenue to pay off the $50,000 that we got with no product produced.
Right. Well, just with no time, right?
Right.
Of people
and
working.
so that's what makes it extremely, when you look at it from the
you wanna
company
be-
perspective, it is extremely expensive.
Right. Well, and when you sit there and you want to be this incredible company, a startup, but offers great benefits, it's like, there are certain things where you can sit there and go, you control what you can control.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes I know companies, they'll look at employees and they'll say, we can't offer you stock options. We can't offer you these things, but we can offer you, like, honestly, that other company that I was referring to was tanking tanking. And they were like, but you can work remote and we have unlimited PTO. And people were like, you know what? Sign me up.
Sign me up.
It's like, actually, and now it's like remote work too. Not few and far between. I shouldn't say that because it still very much exists. But if there's new companies starting or there's like, people want people back in the office. You know?
Yeah. I mean, productivity's got to be
very hybrid.
watched and,
But
but you know what? I think really where hybrid or work from home or remote has really benefited is when people are in a situation where they need to be home. Let's say that child's sick. I think it's much easier for us today to say, go ahead and work at home and accept the remote work in that regard.
It's better than nothing at all.
Versus
right?
where it was before, which was, you have to take the day off or you have to take a PTO day because you're taken care of. And what that forced people to do is make really tough decisions because they can't afford to not, use that time.
Right.
And one of our other team members at one of the other companies was like, I was asking like, hey, did you guys enjoy your break? Da, da, da. And we had several people that were so thankful. They were just like, so thankful that we could do this. And it was like in the past, they've had the time off, but the time off was unpaid. And it's like, yeah,
it's stressful.
It's stressful. So you get time off, but you have no income coming in.
Well, it wasn't their choice. The company actually shut their doors because the owner of the previous owner actually was just like, we're not going to do production. I'm not going to be here. I'm not taking orders. And so so the company's doors will be shut and we'll see you in the new year sort of thing. So I don't believe it was for as long, but I could be wrong. But anyway, it is a huge difference when you're sitting there and it's the time of year where you're buying presents and you're buying standing rib roasts and you're trying to host or you're going to other people's houses and you want to bring the bottle of wine, and you're not getting your paycheck. Plus, it's the end of the year and insurance is going up and you've got different things. It's like, oh my God, you've probably got bills.
Taxes are due.
But also, I mean, I can say this because I had Abigail, our baby, this year, and we had not a huge hospital bill, but we had a hospital bill that they allowed us to get on a payment plan for versus just paying in one lump sum. And even with insurance, it was like, okay, this makes sense for us. But a lot of those payment plans that you would start up, they're like 12 months, 9 months. They pretty much want you to pay before the end of the calendar year. They're like, we can set you up on something, but a lot of those bills are coming to an end. And it's just, life is full of expenses and it's harder and harder to manage. I mean, we've made sacrifices ourselves, and I think we're sitting here talking about it because you want to enjoy these times of the year, but they can be really stressful for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And actually, and this is so off budgets, but it's also Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen hosted New Year's Eve, which they're like the best hosting duo ever. And I love, they got more views. It was like the second highest views of a New Year's Eve live that there's ever been.
Really?
Yeah, they're amazing. But
they drink, which is totally different.
They do, and Anderson Cooper is drinking. But before he started drinking, Anderson Cooper came on and was just explaining how he's had some really tough times over the holidays. And I will say, like losing family members or feeling lonely or not having a family to celebrate with. And so it's also a lot of that where like everyone's getting together. There's so many other people that aren't. Yeah. And it's trying to be cognizant of it or volunteer your time or, making sure that you're including those who may not have a place to go that you don't even know about. A lot of times there might even be employees or coworkers or people who don't have something where you should include them so they don't feel, it doesn't have to be gifts. It doesn't have to be different things, but it's a happy and sad time of year. It just is.
I feel like in the past we had a thing where, did I dream this? Where it was like everyone on the E team, it was kind of like finding out and then inviting people who didn't have a place to go for like Thanksgiving or something like that. Or am I imagining this?
No, we've definitely, in the past when we've worked for bigger companies, had an open door policy, kind of like making sure that people had family to be with. That was when we were like all local here in this area and much more family oriented in the business. We also used to do angel trees through the Salvation Army, which is you can choose a kid, but they're not... I say kid, I mean, some of them are young adults who just their parent, they're either don't have parents or their parents are incapable of being able to afford to get them anything. And they have a list of needs and wants, and most of the needs are like shoes and jackets and underwear. And so it is a time of year where I feel like people are looking for opportunities to give. And so, they exist all year round, but it is a time where people can be giving. So just a good time for reflection.
It's a good time for reflection. I'm trying to think where it was, where there was like a year where we got a bunch of stuff 50% off. And I mean, the company, we got to get a lot of stuff together for these kids and stuff. It was pretty cool. We should consider that in a year or two. I think, might be something.
Yeah, you have to have enough, but you have to have enough people to participate. You have to ensure that if you're going to commit to the number of angels you get, that you're able to,
right. And the company has to like step up if you're not,
right.
They're counting on those people getting those gifts,
right? Or someone else would have taken it, to do it. But
I put my request in every year; it gets denied. My PS5.
Oh, at home, your gift. I don't know if you've ever.
I'm going to create my own little personal angel tree and just be like, "Here's what I want."
That's so weird. I have my own gift list.
We got an amazing gift this year from your folks.
A new dryer.
Yeah, they actually told us that what they were going to get us, and we told them that is incredibly generous, but we don't. Thank you.
We don't need an entire appliance.
We don't need an entire appliance.
No.
And the thing was that it wasn't just a dryer, because we had a single unit, combined unit, a washer and dryer unit. And so, but they were insistent and just surprised us with a check.
Well, I think everyone knows.
They must have did the research, because they were spot on.
Well, I think everybody knows that I have a terrible relationship with our old dryer. And I even had a maintenance man come who made my life a living hell for like 2 weeks at a time. Yeah, no. And it was relatively new when it started breaking. But anyway, the dryer would only dry for like 5 minutes and then turn off. And we live in a townhome. So every single time the dryer turned off, I had to walk up a flight of stairs. Maybe that's why I'm gaining weight, because I'm not stair stepping. My dryer's working.
No, you're not gaining weight. Stop. Stop that.
Oh my gosh. Oh, speaking of gaining weight, DoorDash.
The bane of my existence. So,
it's so funny.
It's amazing. Technology and businesses, and actually we're working on a potential venture right now in the delivery space, in the flower space. And there is room for this in the world. There are cases where DoorDash, I do believe, would be of value. Like if you were at home with abs, you can't get in a car, you can't do that. You can DoorDash. But you like to throw it out there when we're both home.
If I'm already in my pajamas and I don't feel like going out.
And she's like, "Oh, we'll just DoorDash." And I'm groceries. Like, and one of our friends said it great. It's like, yeah, get an $8 burger and pay $25 because it cost you $13 to have it delivered.
And if you were the one saying it, you'd say $25 for a burger that's been spit in or sat.
Yeah, and it's been spit in and drank, and
probably
some lettuce and a pickle taken off of it.
But the whole thing was, there was like a Reddit post. I'm sure you haven't looked into it, but a couple of people were talking about it that I know, just saying that. Have you read into this? Anyway, it was like some Reddit post saying that they're charging more for people to get the premium faster delivery, hotter food or whatever. And what it really was is that there is no such thing. Like a driver can get there when a driver can get there. The food's ready when it's ready.
Right.
And so all they're doing to make it feel like you're getting your food faster if you're paying that rate is actually making it take longer for the other like standard orders on purpose. And that they're like just referring to their drivers as like, I can't like collateral or assets or something where it's like not human. It's just very like, oh, these are our robots driving around your food and doing what we need you to do, sort of thing. I'd have to look into it
There are delivery robots in Miami right now. They're like these little motorized coolers.
Yeah.
And then they roll up remotely to a store. They open the cooler. They put the food, hot or cold, in it. They close it. And then the robot drives off.
That's crazy.
And then just arrives at the house. Now, it's mostly downtown. Like, it's not going on freeways or anything like that, but it's crossing sidewalks and people. And
that's crazy.
And then
I'd rather a robot bring me food than 100%. Someone else.
I would, because one, I know when the food was loaded in, I know it got there safely. I walk out. We live downtown. Like, if a little robot, like if you were like, hey, I'm going to order from Roby, I'd be like, let's order from Roby. That's so cool. Like, I can't wait for this little robot to like,
oh my God,
kind of show up like, hey, we're tech. Like that. Drone delivery will probably become, and what's crazy about drone delivery is this idea that these drones come in, right? And they can't just land in your yard and whatever. They like lower things on winches. So it's like, it's like,
just drops
drops it off. And it's like, could you imagine like this pizza just kind of sitting in your, driveway, courtyard, your sidewalk?
That wouldn't be great if it was raining.
It wouldn't be great if it was rain. Well, I don't think they'd deliver in the rain. But like, even if you put it in the grass, like within 2 seconds, you'd be like ants crawling in it.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
But they were saying that you could put these little pedestals in your lawn, and they're like little drone landing pads. It's for like packages and other things.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool.
There's no pedestal that would be big
but
enough for the
reality? What's really going to happen is that remote Teslas will go with an Optimus robot in it, will walk in, pick your pizza up, go sit in the Tesla. The Tesla will drive to your house. The robot will get out and bring you your pizza. Like that, we're going to see. What's so exciting is not only are we going to see all this amazingness, but then we'll die by it. It's like.
What do you mean?
Because we're literally staring at.
He's very
Terminator
end of the
2.
world. Yeah, he's very end of the world. Lately, I'm not.
You know what it is? It's like I'm trying to balance being a realist, and then also I think I have a much bigger concern for the future of our kids. Like to me, through all these generations, right? There comes a point in your age where it's all about you, and then there's this kind of shift where it's like I want to leave the world a better place. And then I look at this and I go, are we like yes. There are many facets that we are making amazing for the next generations. But at the same time, there's a level of greed that's taking place, a level of just, if we could do it, let's do it. Like there's no accountability. And I do think that we're creating stuff that's really going to hurt us.
Yeah, I think that we've had this discussion the other day. So I was always, I'm an older mom, and I was always someone who was kind of nervous. I always thought I'd be a good mom, but I was always nervous about the world that I'd be bringing my kid into. And so, but I was talking to you the other day saying, I can't imagine, not that people intentionally or unintentionally had kids before or after World War II or during the Great Depression or during these like really difficult times. A lot of people were having kids in 2007, 2008, like unintentionally or intentionally, and it's like the market's crashing. There's a lot of things that happen. And the onset of social media was like right when I was starting college, but it's like changed, the way that teenagers and just the younger generations communicate in general. On a computer screen, it's like these people who are just so communicative online, but like have nothing to say in person. Like a lot of that's gone away, and how education's being taught, leveraging technology. Things have changed so much, but I think the reality is that, and I was saying this to you, things like phones in general versus pagers, like the ability to call on a mobile phone or TV and streaming
world's
devices.
amazing.
The world
Everything's
is amazing, but it's like, some of those changes that seem small to us because they existed when we were born or shortly after, were major changes for our parents and our grandparents. And then the generations before, it's the same thing. So it's it continues to be. Now, I know you're like, AI is different and it is very end of the world-esque. And I know you're not a horoscope guy, but my horoscope for the year pretty much said that the stars and the moon are in the same alignment as they were the year of the Civil War. So something crazy is going to happen, but all is well.
Okay, well, first of all, that's pretty much for everybody, because there's this cyclical thing where every 50 years or every 40 years we go into the same routine. And it's been proven over and over again. But humans like correlation. Like we like to find patterns. And so people will always try to find things and search for something that they can do. Did you see what my horoscope said by chance?
No, what did it say?
I don't know. I hope it said something awesome. I know it did, because we're going to have an awesome year this year. Like really looking forward to, what we're going to achieve. And
and we've got our internal company conference coming up.
Internal company conference,
Yes.
end of the month.
And so we're going to, beginning of next month.
Launching a new venture on Friday.
Yeah. And so we've got a lot going on.
Actually, today, when you hear this, we'll have launched a new venture.
There you go, yeah. And so there's a lot going on from a business
Check it out,
perspective.
homeinspections.com. Subscribe.
Subscribe today.
Give us your money.
No. I think that it's an exciting year ahead. We've got a lot of challenges. We've got a lot of growth that's already happened, that still needs to happen. New products are launching. But I think what's been interesting is we're going to go over the vision at the company conference, but you kind of came in over the break and you got your visions from when you literally were still working for another corporate company and you had to get enough sidebar contracting money to support your income, to pay our bills, to say, okay,
Yeah.
I can step outside of this realm and just focus on the business that I want to have, all the way up into this point, like 5 years later. And so it's definitely been a wild ride, but it has been so cool to watch your vision become clearer, more concise, and more focused and just more understood, even in your own head. It's like it all fit together. But as you continue down this path, I think that things really are coming to fruition. Your phone keeps going off. It's distracting me.
Yeah.
And it was a bird. The image for this person's a bird. So I didn't know who it was, but.
Well, I hope we're not missing a call.
What do you mean?
I don't think so. Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to be on a call.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
What's the time? 3:03. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Happy New Year.